Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, I think at this point it's safe to say that this is the new strategy. Donald Trump has seemingly fully embraced, fully adopted a rush directly into the lion's den approach to the 2024 presidential election campaign season. And like I said in the previous video, it's kind of the opposite of the Hillary Clinton campaign doctrine, where you focus all of your time on places that you think you can win, on places that are favorable to you. You only go to places where you pander and where the going's easy. Well, that obviously failed in 2016, and so I think at this point the Donald Trump approach is the opposite. Go where it's tough. Go where people don't like you, and try to win them over. And of course it all started with that interview with Maria Bartiromo where Donald Trump suggested that he would be campaigning in New York City. You know, most election strategists would tell you that's crazy, it's a waste of time, a waste of resources. But of course in this case Donald Trump's hand was forced, and so a new strategy has been summoned, a new strategy has been born. Some people are claiming on X that it's not a good idea, it's a bad strategy. I'm thinking the exact opposite. Let's have a conversation about Donald Trump's most recent visit to the Libertarian Party convention. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so once again Donald Trump goes into the belly of the beast. He shows up at the convention of another political party, basically his opposition, and gives a speech. And of course, as expected, he got booed.
It's time to be winners. You have a lot of common sense. It's time to be a winner. So I'm asking for the well, think of it. I'm asking for the Libertarian Party's endorsement, or at least lots of your votes, lots and lots of Libertarian votes, based on my 4-year, very outstanding presidential record. Much of my record is Libertarian.
And this right here is where people are panicking. Why would he do this? Why would he do this to himself? Why would he create that image to have that viral clip bouncing around the internet? The Democrats are going to have a field day with that one. Donald Trump gets booed. But I don't know about you guys, I don't see it that way because of the underlying context. You know, obviously it was expected that Donald Trump would show up there and not exactly be the most welcomed of guests. It's a little bit different from the usual, gets booed off stage style framing video that we release on this channel, where mostly Democrats will show up someplace that they expect to get support, but instead they get booed off the frickin' stage. The boos were expected. What Donald Trump's adversaries are perceiving as a hugely embarrassing moment, in my view, wasn't embarrassing at all. If anything, it once again showed Donald Trump's courage to go where he's not popular, and it also further creates the contrast between him and Joe Biden. His willingness to be in tough places, his willingness to speak to people that disagree with him. Joe Biden's the most controlled politician ever, and the media keeps pointing out how controlled all of these events are.
I covered Clinton, I covered Bush 43, yep, and I covered Trump, and I never ever saw them using notes in a situation like this. And I was in Singapore with Trump when he had his first meeting with Kim Jong-un. He went for an hour answering every question that anybody put to him, never once glanced down at the lectern. He was just like off the top of his head.
And the questions were not on topic.
No, they were all over the place.
Never have reporters seen a president who's so reliant on note cards in the Situation Room. A president who's shying away from debates. A president who doesn't do interviews, who doesn't do public events, who doesn't speak in not totally controlled environments. Well, Donald Trump not only does all of those things, but he also essentially goes into what you can view as, enemy territory, and he takes on the crowd. If anything, I view the event similar to Donald Trump's infamous UN speech. He goes to a place that is adversarial and tries to work the crowd and get them on his side. It was yet again Donald Trump playing the crowd, another calculated play where he's testing different talking points. And even beyond testing talking points, he's also giving people a sales pitch. Staunch, hardcore libertarians are not people who vote for Republican candidates, or at least not in every election. They're mostly people who will vote for the Libertarian candidate, or the vote will split. They'll either stay home or vote for the Democrat or vote for the Republican, depending on how they feel. Well, Donald Trump is going to these people saying, look, we've got a lot in common, and I'm even willing to extend an olive branch. You may be booing me, but I'm here to tell you that we're not so different, and I'm also here to offer you guys a couple things. He spoke about Bitcoin.
I will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the USA, not driven overseas. I will support the right to self-custody. To the nation's 50 million crypto holders, I say this with your vote. I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin. And I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. I will also...
He even went as far to say, if you vote for me, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht.
And if you vote for me on day one, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served.
And he also sprinkled a little bit of Trump on top of all of it. When getting booed viciously by the crowd, he didn't back down, he didn't cower, no, he doubled down and said, look, boo all you want, but if you want to win, I'm your guy.
That's nice. Only if you want to win. Only if you want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Thank you, D-Roy. Thank you. No, only do that if you want to win. If you want to lose, don't do that. Keep getting your 3% every 4 years.
A typical Trump moment. He didn't run away from the spotlight. He didn't run away from the challenge. And in my view, it once again shows why he's presidential material. Because this is the type of guy that you need going into the negotiation room with the world's toughest of adversaries. You know, Trump once again proves that he's tough as nails. People say that he can't handle criticism. He's got soft skin. He's sensitive. He certainly does hit back, and I guess it could be perceived as insecure or sensitive. But is he really? He seems to have absolutely no problem with an entire room booing him, dealing with it, taking it all head on, and hitting back in his own way. In my view, that's the mark of a leader. And again, the stark contrast is what's most important here. There's Donald Trump, who proves once again that he's tough as nails, and there's Joe Biden, who melts down and breaks down in these moments at the slightest sign of protest. We all remember that infamous moment where someone challenged him at one of his events, and instantly he became an emotional train wreck, talking about push-up competitions, called the guy fat. I mean, literally just labeled him fat. Listen, fat.
If you want to check my shape on, let's do push-ups together, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. But look, fat, look, here's the deal.
Every time Joe Biden is challenged, he gets angry and violent and offended. And most of the time, he runs away, or he cowers, or he hides. He goes into the basement, never showing his face, unless it's a totally partisan Democrat shill journalist, who's there to massage his feet and ask him soft and soothing questions. I don't know about you guys, but I'm perceiving this event as a positive. And I think it really builds on a concept I've been very vocal about, the idea that Donald Trump has a very strong floor. The question is, can he break through the ceiling? Trump supporters are there no matter what. The people who are voting for Trump are voting for Trump no matter. They've shown themselves in the polls consistently throughout the years. They show up to vote when Donald Trump's on the ticket. There's a huge difference in voter turnout when Trump is on the ticket as opposed to when he isn't. The 2022 midterms, I think, really showed us that. Trump has the floor of voters, the floor of support, and now I think his focus is building on top of that floor. The staunch Trump supporters will show up. The question now is, who else can he get to show up? It seems like he's appealing to black voters and Hispanics a whole lot more. He wants to pull in libertarians. He's probably going to be reaching out a lot to RFK Jr. voters, and of course even Democrats, as he's now being forced to campaign in Democrat strongholds like the South Bronx and Harlem. The campaign season is on. It's on like frickin' Donkey Kong. And the story is, at least the story to me, is that Donald Trump is making some amazing strides. He's implementing new tactics and strategies, and Joe Biden, well, Joe Biden is in the basement as per usual. That's it. That's the video. That's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.